Welcome to the Indie Corner. We're talking about all things independent comics, specifically the greatest superhero comic book in the universe. Robert Kirkman's Invincible. I'm Mikey.
I'm Christian.
I'm Demoan.
I'm Matthew.
Today, people, we are back at it again with another episode. Another event. We're going to be talking about volume 14, which is going to be our second event, the Viltrumite War Part 1, as well as the tie-in, the Guarding the Globe #1 that takes place after issue 73 that we're talking about. So issue 71 and 74 we're talking about. And I'm excited.
Yeah, ass cheeks are getting classes. Fights everywhere. It's great.
It's going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as I said last episode, Invincible was baby shit compared to this event. But we're gonna get to it. Demoan's back, so should we clap? Demoan's alive, everyone. Which means he's doing 2 issues today. So we'll get started. So Christian, you wanna talk about?
I would love to talk about issue 71 of Invincible. So issue 71. Remember those Flaxens?
Nope.
From okay, you don't remember them?
I don't. Where were they from?
I don't blame you. They're the people that age super fast, the alien race. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
The Flaxens.
Yeah. That super big threat that everyone gives a shit about. How could we forget about them? Well, they came back for round 3, I think, of an ass whooping. And unfortunately, it's in the middle of Mark being in a rush to get back home and do one of his side gigs as a bodyguard for companies. Eve calls him up, asks for help, can't because, alien invasion and shit. These Flaxians always up in your steez. Eve gets worried about her pregnancy, but she's not telling Mark yet because reasons. And it's obviously showing through her demeanor. She's very anxious and stuff. And in this issue, we get to see Robot's very sexy big tank suit. Look at that.
Thoughts on this? Yeah. I kind of dig it.
I kind of dig it too.
It's real cool.
It's so unnecessary. Like, why does he need tinier arms at the torso?
They're my favorite part.
Exactly. It's so great. So Britt's like, okay, this is light work. I mean, once we figure out, Robot's like, they're light work once we figure out how they're not aging to death here in this dimension, we're good to go. And Britt's like, oh, you fought them before? That's pretty cool. And Robot's like, yeah. So they figure out what the problem is. It's these mech suits that they're piloting. They're the source of them not aging. And it seemed kind of obvious in retrospect after they figured it out. And they take out these mech tank things that they had, and they start retreating back into their dimension. And Robot's like, these guys are probably kind of super dangerous. If we give them one more round, they might be able to figure out how to beat us. So I'm going to go in their dimension and try to commit some mass genocide real quick. All right. So Britt, see you later. Me and my girlfriend Monster Girl are going to head up. And Britt's like no.
Literally just dips. He's just like,
yeah,
okay.
He literally just dips. And Britt's like, nah, don't do that. I'm your boss. Please don't. And Robot's like, nah, fuck you. You're old man. And then he leaves.
No, he asks to follow them. He's like, guys, come on, follow me. They're just like, no.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Robot decides to go alone. And now Guardians of the Globe are down 2 members. While this is happening, Oliver took care of the situation Eve had, which was, what's his name? King Cobra, something like that?
The lizard
Cobra Kai.
The Snake Master.
I don't remember, but
yeah.
Is it like
that's the important part?
Yeah. The Lizard League.
Yeah,
Lizard.
the League of Lizards.
No, but for real, can we actually call this group now Cobra Kai, please?
Yes. Or
No, I agree.
Cobra Kai. Oliver kicked his ass very quickly. Yeah, okay. And then your boys, Alan and Nolan, back at it again, your favorite roommates.
Yeah.
They're looking for me, Tech Jacket, somewhere in the Butt Neck Woods. And they run into this very nice and oddly chill old man being like, hey, you looking for Tech Jacket? And they're like, are you not concerned about this 8-foot piece of beefcake here next to me? And he's like, nah, I've seen weirder shit. And you didn't kill me, so I guess we're cool, right? And you knocked on the door. Villains don't do that. They don't respect doors.
I guess there's a nod, like maybe he's like a neighbor of like Zach and his dad, and like has just seen just weird shit from their house, obviously.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He just been hanging around for Tech Jacket too long. And he feels super chill about this stuff now. So the neighbor tells the boys where Tech Jacket is in space, like I do, and then they fly into space like they do, and they have a nice little chit chat about him joining the Viltrumite War. Mark tells Oliver he's not coming with them when they head back home. Oliver's like, but I want to fight and socialize with my dad. And then Mark's like, no, daddy time only for me. I need you to stay here and protect my girlfriend. Fuck you. And Oliver's like, oh, man, that sucks. And Mark's like, listen, if Levi comes back, I need you to protect the people. And then Oliver's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, you gotta make sure like you can handle shit when Angstrom Levi Jeans comes back.
Yeah, when the Levi Jeans come back, you gotta be ready. And Oliver asks, I mean, if you and Dad are okay with it, I guess I'm okay with it. And then Nolan pops in and is like, hey, how's it going? I might not be okay with it. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, now Nolan's back in his old home. Hasn't been there for like years,
like
that?
almost like for a while now.
For a long time. Yeah, and then he runs into his wife, and then they have this very, very painful interaction. Mark's mom is like, I don't care what you say. I don't think I could ever forgive you. And Nolan's like, I didn't mean anything I said when I left. I am so sorry. And I love you very, very much. And then Mark's mom's like, you're a bitch. Which is fair. Because he was kind of an asshole when he left.
He called her his pet, didn't he?
Yeah.
He supposedly didn't mean it.
Yeah.
He loved her like he loves a dog, right? Or something.
Yeah.
The level of disrespect.
Straight up called his wife Fido.
Okay. After the apology, she doesn't believe him. Tech Jacket and Alan are floating outside of Nolan's house, having a nice little small talk. Alan's like, so you're a superhero? Tech Jacket's like, yeah, kind of. And Tech Jacket's like, so you're an alien? And Alan's like, oh, what makes you say that?
Also, I just want to say I love how like from the last time we saw Tech Jacket drawn, I love how Otley draws Tech Jacket.
He does look nice.
It's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Why don't you give a shit about my character, man?
Yeah, why are you hating on Christian so much?
I'm trying really hard. What do you want from me? So after that awkward mom and dad talk, Nolan goes upstairs, talks to Oliver. Oliver's like, do you remember me, Dad? Do you recognize me? And Nolan's like, yes, I recognize you, my son. Come, let us fight in the Viltrumite War and catch up on things. And Oliver's like, Daddy, oh my God, I'd love to. Mark goes to Eve's place and they have this goodbye. And he's like, listen, this might be the last time we ever see each other. because I could die. And he was like, no, don't say that. Don't say that you're going to die. No, no, no. I don't want to be a single mother. Without saying that, because she's keeping the whole pregnancy thing a secret. Don't know why, but shit. She said, 1-star Enterprise. Okay. Now they get into they do fuck. Thank you for doing that, Mikey. Speaking of, Alan also fucks.
Alan also fucks.
Not sure if we said that yet.
We know Alan fucks. We just know that.
Yeah, he does fuck. Now they're on the Star Enterprise with off-brand Star Trek, talking shit about how bad their team is there because they are trash. Oliver finds out that he could survive out in space right then and there. Oh, okay. I guess we're skipping to the explosion.
It was an accident.
They get exploded all up in there. And wouldn't you know it, it's your boy Conquest, that one black guy, and the other guy here to fuck shit up. So ends issue 71.
Christian, I'm so sorry. That was an accident. I did not mean to do that.
It's all right. I didn't have much to say anyway after that.
Yeah,
I just wanted to explain, like, Oliver, he doesn't know that he could hold his breath for a super long time, like, Mark and Nolan do all the time. This is news to him because he never went into space. Mark never had the time to do it. That's all I wanted to say, and I'm done.
Yeah, it's really is. I forget, like, it's literally the Starship, the Starship Enterprise. Like, it's the funniest shit on it. Like with their own purple William Shatner too.
God, yeah. Purple William Shatner is worst William Shatner, actually. I was about to say best, but he's trash. This character's trash.
He is actually trash.
Yes, all he did was get destroyed and make things harder for Nolan and Alan.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts on this issue?
I like it.
Me too.
Moving on to the next issue.
Alan Fox. Move on.
Yeah. End of thoughts.
I think it's a really good start. I mean, I'm just sort of like, I have a terrible memory, so I kind of forgot. But like, I mean, it's just set up just like, hey, like they're gonna start getting to war and shit. Like Mark saying his goodbyes, and like, they're getting Tech Jacket finally, and all the other stuff. I mean, it's just. I'm also happy they got Tech Jacket because Tech Jacket is powerful. Obviously Christian would know better than us because he is Tech Jacket and he read his volume. But like, and also like, okay, question: do you think it was a good idea to bring Oliver there though? Because like that no one was like okay with bringing Oliver, even though he's not that experienced.
Not okay that he's alive in general. He's a menace.
Shut up.
He needs to die.
I think that it is a good thing they brought Oliver. I think that we'll get into it a little bit later in the episode, but I think he and Nolan have some really cool stuff going on. So I'm glad he's there.
I mean, I understand why, because Nolan hasn't seen his son since he was like a baby. So like, it's just good for him to like catch up and like maybe have like father-son bonding maybe. But
exactly.
But Oliver could die. That's the issue. He could die because he almost died when he fought Conquest. So
yeah, and they're just Viltrumites.
Yeah. What were you saying?
It's the same. Like I was agreeing with you basically.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Also, just take time to reflect because my favorite part of this issue was just the whole Debbie Nolan interaction. Let's just take time to reflect how much Debbie has grown. Like ever since her husband called her a pet and left her. Like, like I mean, like she was an alcoholic for a while. She got clean. She like decided to be a real estate agent and do her own thing, and then she has a boyfriend. Like she's come a long way, and like ever since the start.
Yeah,
and then now Nolan's back, and that's gonna be an issue.
Of course it is.
Like no
Very
joke.
Much so for her.
I really love her character development. This probably, if not my second favorite character development in the entire series, is her. But
I think I
Who would
agree.
be if you had
who's
to
the
choose?
first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, to be the first.
Mhm.
Honestly, I just said second because I knew there was going to be someone, but I don't have anyone on the top of my head. Everyone else is trash compared to her. Ooh, Rex, that's a good one. Not the best.
Right.
Yeah,
but
I love.
yeah.
I'm not quite sure he beats her out though.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Who's the best?
Remember when William was a character in this book?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I was waiting for someone to bring him up.
Completely forgot about him.
Yeah. I mean, William isn't over. We're gonna always see William in this book. It's just inevitable, dude. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he comes back. He
Okay.
does.
All right.
Also, I just it just bothers me that like just Eve just isn't gonna tell Mark that she's pregnant because he could actually die, like hypothetically, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Could be
no,
one
like
and only chance.
I don't know what her motive is for not telling him. Like, I mean, honestly, that's more motivation for him to come back than the fact that he has a child, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or
But
maybe a distraction. Maybe he wants to die so he doesn't have to father that child.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, I like this issue. It was a good starting point for the event.
Honestly, I honestly just love the Monster Girl. I'm just glad we're finally getting into the Monster Girl robot part, or not like getting into it, but like it's coming up.
Yeah, the monster that see like
I
yeah, 'cause
love
After they come back from the portal.
yeah, because they're gonna be gone for like this entire like thing. Well, granted, because we're not gonna be on Earth, so
Are they going to be adults when they come back?
I mean, who knows? Probably the time difference, time is changing. Time's more sped up in that dimension.
Hmm.
Who knows? Well, yeah, they're gone for now. But yeah, great, good issue. I enjoyed it.
No, yeah.
Me too.
And also Conquest. Jesus Christ.
God, Conquest. God.
Speaking of Conquest, you guys want to talk about Invincible number 72?
Yeah.
You sure do, Matt.
Just that I would.
That was smooth.
Invincible number 72, y'all. This book is written by Robert Kirkman and drawn by Ryan Otley, just like every other issue, except for the ones that aren't.
Never heard of him.
And this is the cover. I don't think we talked about it in for last issue, but all of these covers have like these banners on the bottom of the page, where it shows like on this one you can see it's Conquest and those other two guys. And every one of these covers have a banner there that shows somebody. I think the last one was Eve, and I don't remember the rest, but I don't know.
It's
There's kind of a neat. I don't know what that will be called. Mikey, you're in art, dude. What's that called? The banner thing. It's cool.
I mean, I
Design
don't know.
choice?
I would just put like I would just say like a juxtaposition, but
Ooh.
I really like. Yeah, I like it. It's just like here's what's gonna happen, but also like here's some either like something that they're an obstacle that they're facing or some emotional context, especially like with Eve and that other cover as well. So I don't even talk about the first cover, but like the first cover is my favorite cover of the whole like event, whether it's him in space, because I mean every time he's in space, it just looks amazing. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Go
Anyway,
on, man.
Conquest is here. And if y'all remember last time we saw Conquest, Mark killed him. So
He didn't die.
He sure seemed dead. He sure seemed super dead.
Yeah, he seemed super dead, but he wasn't dead.
But he wasn't dead because he's here. So Mark kind of has the same interaction with Conquest that he had with Angstrom Levy, where he was like, "What are you doing here? I killed you." And then Conquest goes, "But you didn't kill me good enough." And Mark's like, "Yeah, I killed you." And Conquest goes, "Nope, you didn't do it." And it's the same conversation he had with Angstrom. Anyway. Yeah. Oliver gets pissed off, and so he goes to attack, and he's immediately actually
straight up gets backhand
by Conquest, which is
Conquest is just like, please, like,
it's like this is a warm up for him.
Yes,
Oliver should be nowhere near this fight right now.
I think that so I like these issues a lot. But I think one thing that, and I don't know if it's Kirkman or Otley or a combination of them, but I think one thing they kind of struggle with is keeping a consistent idea of where each person is in a battle.
Yeah.
So like if somebody is not in a panel, I have zero idea what they're doing. So, for example, on this upcoming page, Conquest backhits Oliver, and then he starts fighting Nolan. And while he's fighting Nolan, we have no idea where Oliver or Mark are. I guess turns out Mark's been fighting another dude, because then he flies away from the dude that I guess he was fighting.
Yeah, he was fighting him when right before Oliver got slapped.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I guess he was to grab his neck. Anyway, Conquest is like, oh, so you're Nolan. I'm going to kill the fuck out of you. And Mark's like, no, you can't kill the fuck out of my dad. And he goes and grabs Conquest, and they fight for a while.
Also,
this is another one of those issues, a lot of fighting. What's up?
Yeah. Well, I was saying just like freaking Tech Jacket just struggle to fight one because like nothing working. Why isn't anything working? And then he just has those guns. Like, oh wait, that worked. Never mind.
Oh, what if I punch him? That'll work.
Like lasers, nothing. Like tendril hands, nothing. Gauntlets, yay.
Try a punch.
So as they're fighting, it's starting to look like our heroes are going to take this one, because as Alan says, what were these guys thinking? They only brought 3 dudes, a lot more than 3 of us, and then it turns out, oops, no, there's more than 3 dudes. And now this is really the beginning of Viltrumite War. This is, I mean, I have to assume, right? This is the first battle of the war, and this double page splash is so cool.
Dude.
Gorgeous.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's insane.
So Oliver chooses this time to not be able to breathe anymore. I don't know why he could just make his lungs better, but he can't. So
he hasn't trained in space.
I've got to breathe, and his I think it's his dad who tells him, to go to the nearest planet. So Oliver flies down there, and Conquest is like, I don't fucking think so. I killed you once, I'll kill you again.
No.
Trying to kill Oliver. And Mark's like, I don't fucking think so. I killed you once, and I'll kill you again. He chases after Conquest also. And Conquest and Mark smash into this planet, and Mark's so mad. Mark's like, I'm going to kill you, and this time I'm going to make sure you stay dead. And they have a whole Dragon Ball fight all across the planet. While
That's true.
Nolan tries to get away from his own fight to get down and save him. Too little, too late, as Conquest puts his fist through Mark's body. And it's extremely brutal in a way that only Ryan Otley can do.
I mean, like, because in this fight, I mean, I don't think you said, but like, Mark's just basically trying to strangle him, and it just refuses to let go. And he's like keeping his area exposed, which is like not what you do when you fight. But you gotta strangle a bitch, and then right through the chest,
right through him.
It's extremely brutal.
It is, because then after this, their fight becomes less of a fight and more of a struggle to survive. As Mark is trying to choke out Conquest, and they're both bleeding all over each other, and like his eye is rolling in the back of his head, and Mark's guts are falling out, and it's extremely graphic. It's extremely brutal. And then there's this double page splash where it pulls out, and you see this trail of destruction that they've left across this planet.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. It's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mark and Oliver show up, and not Mark, the other one, Nolan. Nolan and Oliver show up, and they see Mark there dying, and Conquest supposedly dead. Is he dead for real?
Yes, he's actually dead.
I want to talk about the detail of like him grabbing onto his intestines.
Dude,
like the last thing that he did was
Nolan won't let him live after this.
Yeah, no. Conquest is dead. Like, actually, I can confirm that he's dead now.
Yeah.
What?
So Mark did it.
Mark did it this time. He didn't mess it up. I'm proud of him, honestly.
I don't like. They could hold their breath for like days. Just saying. Why strangle? Why was that his first choice to take him out? And why did it work?
That's a very
apparently-
good question.
I mean,
The logic
Is it really-
he said he used is that either Conquest breathed, he exhaled as he was coming in, so he was out of air,
yeah, that's true.
or knocked it out of him when he got thrown on the ground because he didn't expect to get hit that hard, and that's the explanation they used. But
Yeah.
I still feel like they could have had more air in his lungs. He's
True.
a very strong man. It looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then it's a clear indicator that like even though Mark is completely fucked, like, but he is like stronger than what he appears to be. Because last time he fought Conquest, I mean, he like seemed to have killed him, but like he did do a number on Conquest the last time we saw him.
Yeah,
Like this time he actually like finished the job.
that's true.
But
It's a
dude,
market.
yeah, this is brutal as shit. Like this right here. Oh, I can't look at it without throwing up. But like that's kind of the point.
It's gross.
But yeah, that is and the 72.
Yeah, this is quite the start of the Ultimate War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it really is.
dude, it's nuts. I like it. This fight is just insane. Like it's just insane. Like I'm just like, oh my gosh.
It's just
Have any shoes? Nasty.
there's just so many powerhouses in the mix.
Yeah, word. I mean, it's dope shit. I mean, it's just, I mean, Alan, I mean, okay, also that big splash page, like, I love Alan's reaction to, like, holy shit,
just
too
look
many people.
slightly frustrated.
He just, like,
Where's Tech Jacket? Oh, Tech Jacket.
yeah, Tech Jacket.
Couldn't see him for.
Tech Jacket somewhere back there. Yeah, just
He's
like,
right.
wait, what?
He's in,
Tech
like,
Jacket's
the
right
army.
above his face.
Oh,
He
yeah,
blended in. I couldn't first.
yeah, but like, yeah, it's just, Otley doing what he does best, drawing amazing fights, and just like, it's amazing, and it's just ridiculous. That's all I gotta say about issue 72.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh man, like just Jesus Christ, like what? Yeah, like he's pulling out his guts. Oh god. Oh.
He's still holding them. He's still like crushing them at the end.
He's still holding them. Oh, dude, it's nasty. But yeah. So it took a turn for the worse for Mark, but like
But it's all right because next issue, Mark can go into a Kryptonian healing coma.
That's right. How it works.
Which is totally not bullshit. Yeah.
And speaking of the next issue, you guys want to get to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's time?
Yeah.
For what?
Issue 73, right?
Yeah, of course. Right here.
Yeah, okay. So, let me just brush myself off real quick. It's been a minute. So we start off with issue 73. It's the Viltrumite War. Nolan's holding his son, who's not as eviscerated as he was before, but you can still see he's very hurt. And his little brother's standing over him. And they're like surrounded by what are probably aliens of the world they landed on.
Don't forget, we see Thetis call 2319.
It's true. You did say that. You did forget that. You did say that. As always, the writer Kirkman, art by Otley, and we start off this issue with gosh, I don't know why I'm spacing on his name right now.
Thetis?
Thaddeus, yes, Thaddeus.
Thetis?
Yeah. So yeah, he opened up on Thaddeus. He's the head of the coalitions. He's very upset because the linchpin of the entire attack was just gone. They lost 3 of their strongest people, so he's not upset with what's happened. They destroyed everything, and after this, the Star Trek man is very upset because he feels like he's being yelled at, even though there's not much he really could have done.
I mean,
so Thaddeus apologizes and sends him out.
He does suck though. He really is being like, Thaddeus is just like, hey, you suck. Get out of my sight. Like that's basically what he's saying.
I mean, like, every time you see him, he's like either being saved or being barely useful.
Mm-hmm. It's not even barely useful. He's just he's not useful.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, he's sent out, and Thaddeus calls the attendant and tells him to call for an assembly because they have to discuss stuff. Then we cut back to the Viltrumites. Well, the two remaining Viltrumites, as there's only two left since Conquest has died. And they're talking about how Conquest brought down 3 of them, but they can't find the other 2 strong people, which would be Alan and Tech Jacket. And they said they can't make it to the planet, but they don't know where they are, so something must have happened to him. Then we flash, and we see that Tech Jacket decided to just kind of hide him and Alan to the outside of the ship where they just couldn't be detected. So like they're part of the ship now.
They did a Star Wars.
They did Star Wars, that's right. And I think that's very smart and very funny, especially because the little like hut they're hiding under has Tech Jacket's face on it still.
Yeah.
No, I didn't notice that. That's
I
great.
noticed that.
Yeah. And I really like that.
Yeah.
So after that, we go back to the planet. So Conquest is dead now, like we said. So Nolan decided to bury him. And although Conquest was bad, he deserves a certain level of respect, he said. Oliver does not agree.
No.
And honestly, I think I'm kind of in the way of Oliver, but also it's really not that hard for them, so I understand why Nolan did it.
Literally, Oliver was like, throw his fucking corpse into the sun, please. Like,
I mean, honestly, if I could choose between being buried and thrown into the sun, I'd take the sun. That seems so much cooler.
or
This is the only time I mildly tolerated Oliver.
I don't believe you.
Well, it's the truth.
I don't know why you hate Oliver so much.
He's just so
Because he's purple. That's why. That was the root of why he hate Oliver, because he's purple.
Oh, it's not.
If he stopped being purple, would you not hate him as much?
It's canon that he wanted to fuck a lobster.
The more light skin Oliver gets, the more less Christian hates him. It's canon in this podcast now.
I disagree. I hate him more. You know what I mean?
But anyway, Nolan's like, hey, we shouldn't leave Mark unattended for long. And then we flash to a very, very injured Mark. He's wrapped in bandages, but I assume are Omni-Man's cape.
It's
but
Omni-Man's
they're still
cape.
covered. They're still covered in blood.
What, dude?
And so they're talking, and Oliver's like, how long is he going to take to heal? And of course, Omni-Man's like, it could be months. It isn't looking good. And Oliver's like, well, we can't leave or no one's like, they can't leave because he's in too bad condition. And Oliver's like, well, what are we going to do? And Omni-Man says, hey, well, you know what? These few months we can get to know each other better. And
There's bonding time.
Bonding time.
And I just love the fact that like Nolan had to take his son's guts and put it back into his body, and then use his cape of the tourniquet. He literally described it as, my cape's gonna hold him together because his spine is also like severed. So
insane. It's like insane. I don't know, but anyway, we then swap to what looks to be the remains of a very bloody battle, as there's very frozen dead people out there in the space, and these people are kind of like cleaning up the remains. And we get a glimpse at an old friend who's been frozen in space for a very long time, and his name is Battle Beast.
That's so ridiculous.
Battle Beast is back, and it's so absurd.
Because the last time we saw him, he was escaping prison with Nolan and them. So like he was literally just floating in space, murdering people.
Who's just been doing? It's ridiculous. Look at him.
He's just like more.
He just wants to kill people. That's all he wants. But anyway, then we skip back to Thaddeus. And Thaddeus, he's saying he's going to join. He gets a call from someone, and he says he's going to join them in a moment. So he comes to these two people. I think they were. What did he call them before?
I don't remember.
The attendants, you called them, I think.
Yeah, we saw them last episode too, I think.
We did, I think.
They're like data processors or something.
Yeah, like they basically like they just get information from like
Yeah,
all
no,
the
no.
various outposts and stuff from the coalition of planets and give it to Thetis.
But anyway, they're just giving Thaddeus this rundown of everything that's happened, and they ask him to officially start the war because they have to make an official declaration for it to be real. So last episode was the first fight of the Viltrumite War, but this is the official declaration of war.
Yeah.
And what Thaddeus says. And we skip after that to honestly a beautiful page of what appears to be one of the first battles of the war, with a Viltrumite blocking like a laser being fired against him, and you see like destruction in the background and like these people flying these little pods. It looks like a huge fight basically.
And there's something I want to say, like that one of the intendants said that they were able to extract the poison that from those beetles that like ate the grass that's poisonous to Viltrumites, and like put it in all of their weapons so that could be like a good way to like, you know, as weapons to use against
and that's something they bring up later too, because that's something they're doing a lot of in general. Like you left them a book of stuff that Viltrumites are weak against. So they're just going around the entire world and like universe and collecting stuff that would help them in the fight.
Yeah.
And anyway, after the fight of one of the first battles, we go back to Nolan and Oliver. Nolan is killing food. He's catching dinner because they've been here for 2 weeks. And Oliver's very hungry, but he says he won't eat it. And then, of course, it's the big joke where he says he won't. And then the next panel, he's happily chowing down on it. He's even out for seconds. And
it looks so gross. It looks really gross.
It's so the intestines of whatever animal this is are so nasty. Because there's a point later where Oliver is like juicing it into the unconscious Invincible's mouth. Like
I got that.
Mark is unconscious and he's into him. And like this is so nasty.
I kind of want to try some. I'm not gonna lie.
But like, why didn't they cook it? They could cook it. Why are they eating it raw? It looks so gross.
Fish. It's better raw. What if that is the cooked version? What if that's the best possible version they could possibly get?
That's even worse.
Bro, I feel like it tastes good, man.
No.
Yeah, no. It'd be like
Christian.
What?
You know what does taste good though? Conslock. That tastes good.
It's gross. I feel like this would taste like walnut chicken.
Walnut chicken. This alien being raw.
Yeah.
So you
I'm willing to bet it's like neither walnuts nor chicken.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that too.
All right, if you say so.
In fact, I'm not even sure it's going to be edible to you, Christian.
Yeah.
You dare challenge my gastric reflex? You dare challenge the system?
I think I can win this bet. I do challenge you, Christian.
All right, bet. Next time we see each other, we'll have an eat off with these alien corpses.
I can't hold it down. I'm saying you can't either.
Oh, well, let's both try and see if you're right.
Okay.
If Demoan can't, you can't. If any of us could, it would be him.
Honestly, that is actually very true. I second that.
I refuse.
There's just
I want to be recognized as at least a challenge to Demoan's system, to his stomach.
Demoan, but we said this last episode though. Like, would you eat Conslock if it was offered to you by Alan?
I would give it a shot just out of politeness.
Okay.
I wouldn't eat more than a big bite unless I ended up loving it, which I can't imagine I would.
Got it.
That's fair.
No,
because listen, Alan's a nice guy. I don't want him upset at me.
No.
If Demoan eats it, I'd eat Conslock.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly because he fucks. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Alan's blue girlfriend might have a friend or something. So.
Yeah. Listen, Alan's girlfriend. Honestly, the love of my maybe she has a sister for all I know. Me and Alan could be brother-in-law.
Yeah.
I should have said that. I should have said this yesterday when we were talking about his girlfriend, but like low key, Shotty kind of thick.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Low key, high key, my dude.
Yeah, it's very high key, Mikey. Everyone in this chat will definitely fuck that alien. No question.
All right. Continue to move.
Okay, yeah. So of course now after this we flash back to Tech Jacket and Alan, and Tech Jacket is ecstatic. He's growing facial hair for the first time, and Alan's like, "It's just facial hair. What's up?" And Tech Jacket's like, "Well, my suit's apparently like it cleans me every night. Apparently, it's been shaving me too." And Tech Jacket apparently also hasn't showered since he got this suit, which I understand the suit cleans him, but still makes me feel like he smells just a little bit crusty, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. And then they hear some rattling on the outside. And Tech Jack is like, "What's up? Something's happening. What's up?" And Alan's like, he gives the smug Alan look. "Well, my tracking signal, you can't detect it, but it can be used to find me if I'm lost." And it believes the cavalry just shows up. And we get here a view of Space Racer. Yeah. With reinforcements as they attack the Viltrumite ship.
Space Racer with his gun that can shoot through anything, whatever that means.
Yeah,
It is what it is. It shoots good.
Space Racer's great. I like him.
But anyway, no, he is. But anyway, they come out of hiding, and I assume they join in the battle. But then we cut back to Oliver juicing the alien intestines into the unconscious Mark's mouth.
I hated this. It's so
Yeah, because they want to keep him hydrated, but they don't want him choking on the meat. But apparently they've been here almost a month, so they're good, and his recovery's coming along, which is nice.
Word.
Yeah, and so they have a conversation. Oliver talks to Nolan. He's like, "Hey, my mom. You really think he's asking?" And it's not his birth mom, not the bug mom, his human mom. That's also Mark's mom. Yeah. Debbie. And he asks Nolan, "Do you really think you love her?" And Nolan's like, "Yeah, I know I do. It took me months of healing to realize because I was in prison. But I realized while I was in prison that I did love this woman, who I called my pet, within within very recent memory."
Yeah, that was like what, maybe a year ago, if that.
Maybe.
Or
maybe a year and some change.
Yeah, at most a year and a half. There's no way it's more than that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so around a year ago, he told this woman. I'm sorry, he told his son. And the mom overheard it when it was played to her by Cecil, and he told her his pet. It's been about a year, and he says he loves her after being in prison, because he's Nolan.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes over and he talks like, "Hey, we have affection. We just don't care for each other like humans do. Our lives are so long that like we're just bound to grow distant. So like we never actually like connect the way humans often do. So it's because it's hard to form a bond." And he's like, "We're all very lonely." And but living on Earth changed me. And now he wants to embrace the humanity that he has found. And he goes on this speech, and he's like, "Hey, I did have a connection with her. We raised Mark as a human, not a Viltrumite." And he's like going on about like all the reasons why he loved her and why the time on Earth changed him. And then he's going on like, "But I've done so much damage. He's caused so much pain. He looked down on Mark, beaten with his own hands. A Viltrumite would have felt nothing, but he was devastated." And that's a quote directly from him. He knew he made a mistake at that point. After that, though, we cut back to Thaddeus, and he's briefing Tech Jacket and Alan on everything that's happening. He's like, "Hey, we lost a lot of essential people to the war. We're glad you guys are back because it'll definitely help. Especially Nolan and his sons were gone." And basically, he's like, he hopes that the time on the Viltrumite ship wasn't too taxing and that they should get some rest. And Tech Jacket's very awkward. He tries to tell him that he's growing a beard for some reason. I guess because Thaddeus has a beard, he wants to bond over that. I don't know. But he's very awkward.
Explain yourself, Christian. Why are you so awkward towards Thaddeus, bro?
Bro, I think Demoan explained it perfectly. I'm just trying to relate to this man. Like he has a beard, I have a beard.
Okay,
Look
I
at that.
get it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I just want
Alan gives him
footing.
the dirtiest
I mean,
look
what?
on the side of his eye. And my favorite part though is that look you see Alan giving him. I love that look. I think it's hilarious. And he's like, he'll shut up now, and then we cut back to Alan.
He's giving him side eye,
What?
like actual side eye.
Yeah, single eye. But then we cut back to Nolan and Alan, and they're talking about Oliver and how his actual mother, who's dead by now, and it makes him sad, and how his people also don't deal with affection the same way humans do, and how Alan had, and that was a very human trait that Alan picked up on Earth, and he treated the mother with human affection, and his race wasn't used to that either.
You mean Nolan?
Yeah, Nolan did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry, Nolan did. And Nolan's like, you guys have accelerated lifespans, but like she's still a good person. And it's unfortunate that you're accelerated. And Oliver's like, you're telling the last, and Oliver's like, and remember, we just said this. It's been about a year, and Oliver was a baby the last time Omni-Man saw him. So that's really a benchmark for how fast Oliver ages, even though he's not fully bugged. Mm-hmm.
He's bugged, but not bug enough.
Yeah, he's like half bug, but he's still too bug for the Viltrumites, and they viewed him as inferior and wanted to kill him.
And me, and also me.
So he's not bug enough. He's not bug enough to fit in with the other bugs, but he's too bug to fit in with the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
So he's decided to fit in with the humans.
Yes, as they should. As they should. Fuck Oliver.
But anyway, we come to like an end of this conversation, and Oliver's like, he wants to kick their asses, and Omni-Man's like, well, let's get you training. We'll get you in fighting form, and we'll get Mark in fighting form, and we'll get training and everything. And then they stumble upon the nests of what they've been eating, and then we have a cut to Oliver eating it, the most disgusting thing ever. He says he loves them, and he's gaining weight, and it's awful. I hate watching him eat them. They're so gross.
So nasty.
That's good, man.
But anyway, we get these jump cuts back to and back from the war going up here. We get an attack led by Alan in Tech Jacket, and then we cut back to story time with Oliver and Nolan. And then another attack with Alan in Tech Jacket, and then we see that Mark is actually growing a beard now, and his spine is almost healed, and he should be good in like some time. Like he's coming up, basically. Like he's definitely gonna be better soon.
He's starting to kind of look like a mortal.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of dig Mark with the beard.
I don't.
Is it really a beard or is it like scruff?
The scruff, I kind of dig it.
Yeah, I also
You know what's
dig it.
weird?
I
With his
definitely
DNA,
but like the scruff is a nice change of pace.
you know, it's weird that he isn't growing a mustache with his Viltrumite DNA, which is
I mean, it's forming.
like that's a
what?
yeah. I mean, there's a little. It's definitely worse than the rest of his face, though.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would think with his Viltrumite genes or whatever that his mustache would come in first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe
they're prominent features.
Maybe the human genes made it opposite.
Maybe.
No, that doesn't make sense. Because remember when all the evil marks came in, he had full ass mustache.
There was the mustache one, wasn't there?
Is the mustache correlated to morality?
No. Honestly, I just think that they all just grow facial hair like everyone else does, but they just choose to just keep
mustaches.
What if?
No, it's related to morality. It's official.
What
It's the only
if
thing
they
that makes
water
sense.
their with the blood of their enemies?
Yes.
And Mark hasn't killed enough people yet, so he doesn't get a mustache.
Vampire mustaches.
Vampire mustache.
What?
Of course.
That's what it is.
What do
It's
you
just
mean?
like in Promised Neverland with that flower. It only blooms with blood.
Yeah, I didn't. I've only seen the first couple episodes, so I don't know what you're talking about. But
Okay. You should watch it. The new
I would
season
love
explains
to.
it.
I really liked what I saw of it. I thought it was
Or
really
it's
good.
just a regular, they grow normally,
We've
but
been going
they
through it.
just,
We just haven't got back to it yet.
Still talking about this.
Mike, I hear Mikey saying words, but I don't know what they are. I don't think they matter because we decided that they're vampire mustaches,
Oh,
and that's
yes.
how it works.
Vampire
That
mustache.
explains how it grows.
I
That's
guess.
why the Viltrumites need to kill so many people to feed their mustaches.
Their brains are located in the mustache.
Oh my god.
But anyway, after we see that Mark hasn't killed enough people to get his mustache yet, we cut back to Thaddeus, and he's telling them, telling Tech Jacket and Alan about everything that's happening. He's giving them these little working tips, and like this is how I mentioned before, how he gives like these little things that like can hurt Viltrumites, and he's like space sharks. And I think it's kind of absurd that they just went with space sharks. Like they didn't think to name them just something else. It's just space sharks.
I love it.
And I think that's kind of. I love the concept of calling just regular stuff space stuff. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get another jump cut of Nolan telling his son to not hold back, and then his son just swinging. And
Dude.
I laughed at that. I thought it was kind of funny because I don't know. Nolan kind of deserves it. Like he's getting better, but he kind of deserved it.
Like, but like, here's the thing though. Like, as you notice, Oliver's kind of like Kite Man now because he loves saying "hell yeah." It's like his thing. Like,
Yeah.
he says it all the time.
I haven't even noticed.
One more tick on the fuck Oliver list.
So the next update by Thaddeus is that Battle Beast has joined the ranks,
Hell yeah.
and so Battle Beast is officially in the Coalition of Planets army. Honestly, Battle Beast didn't seem like the type of guy to pick a side in the war. He just seemed like the type of guy who would be a mercenary. So I'm a little surprised by that. Actually, you know what? He was held in a Viltrumite prison ship.
Yeah, he was.
So this makes sense.
Plus, he thinks that Viltrumites are like the ultimate opponent, so like it makes sense.
Yeah, be a chance to fight them. That does make sense. I guess he figured it would be easier to do it through a war than trying to find them himself. But anyway, the next one is so Omni-Man and Oliver still working out. Oliver looked like he's getting a little muscle, which I think is nice.
Getting beefy.
A little beefy, yeah. And then Thaddeus is talking about how like it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Like they're enough for the Viltrumite forces, but they just can't beat the Viltrumites when they all gather in one place because like they just don't have enough heavy hitters. They have Battle Beast, Alan, Tech Jacket, and Space Racer. That's just not enough. And honestly, I feel like Space Ripper is not even that bad for a Viltrumite as long as they avoid the gun, which I feel like shouldn't be too hard.
Right, but you have to remember the gun can shoot through anything, so it's still pretty significant.
It's very significant, but like all kinds of space, it's going to be hard for Viltrumite to dodge a gun.
Right, they can it can't shoot through you if you dodge it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to remember though, he is also on a bike, so he's shooting from a bike. You got to imagine there's something about that. I don't know.
It's probably very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Space Racer's only weakness: a moving target. God damn it.
Like I don't remember, but like, what if his gun is like a fucking Omega Beam and just follows you wherever you were? Like it follows its target.
That would
What
be
if
cool.
you can't aim for shit?
But anyway, after that, we see that Mark is finally starting to wake up. He's talking now, and I think that's dope. So Mark's talking. So that means we're finally going to get off this planet, and I don't have to watch them eat these bugs anymore. So I'm very excited about that.
They're hanging them up on like a clothing line. Like, it's and they made a tent out of it. They made a tent. I didn't even notice that. They made a tent out of these bugs.
Yeah, it's a nice hut too. Like, look at that. They even decorated it because there's. It's
Badass.
It looks so cool, but it's so gross, and I know I couldn't handle it if I had to see it in person.
Yeah, not at all.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut to these two attendant guys who get the data, and they're giving this report, it looks like. And then we see a cutaway, and the report's going to the Viltrumites, apparently. And we see them cut, and he's like, "You've been feeding us information for years, but like it's not enough. We're still listening to the coalition. We need to strike down. We need to strike at the coalition directly, and we need you guys to shut down the defenses." And I'm sorry. And he's telling this just to the fat one, by the way. And that one says, "It will be done." And the other guy's like, "What's going to be done? Who are you talking to?" And then that's just the end of the issue.
Right.
I hate their coin slot nose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Their face are ugly.
I really liked the parts in this issue where Nolan and Oliver are hanging out and bonding.
Yeah. The father-son bonding is really nice.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
I think that's some of the best stuff that, in fact, that may be my favorite stuff that we read for today. I think that was really, really good. I'm hoping that Oliver can learn from Nolan and become a better person, because I'm not a huge fan of him being a sociopath.
Yeah, no, Nolan definitely has a lot of character development. He does get better as a person.
But he also does affect his newfound look on life does also implant on Oliver as well. So
that's really cool. I like that.
Because they have a similar emotional situation for the exact opposite reasons.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I just realized that, Demoan, you're slowly disappearing into the black.
I wanted to bring it up, but
please come back.
Alexa, turn on the office light.
Okay.
You bougie asshole. You're not happy. You can just walk over to yourself. God damn it. Now our audience is thinking now the audience is gonna think you're even more of a dick.
Yeah, but I did like the bonding, father-son bonding that they did.
It's the best part of this issue is just Oliver and like Nolan catching up. And it's so funny. Did we mention the lobster shit? Was that in this issue or in the other one?
We didn't mention it, and it was in this issue. I'm happy you brought it up. Because it's fucking bullshit. Oliver's only attracted to ugly humans and crustaceans, and I hate him. He wants to fuck a lobster. He saw a lobster. He was like, I want to fuck it, and then he ate it. Fuck him.
It was delicious, but I still wanted to fuck it.
Wait, is that actually what he said?
No, it's not what he says. That's not what he says. Well, he basically just says it's like he has a like his version of attraction is like obviously vastly different from the way humans are attracted to like he thinks that everything is like everything other than human is just beautiful. Yeah.
Humans are they're gross and slimy.
Yeah, but like I mean like he's like there are some humans that are like I consider to be like beautiful, but like there are like animals and stuff that I also find beautiful as well, and it's just like, huh. So Oliver is, let's say, sexuality-wise, we'll just say that he was alien.
He's a alien.
His sexuality is alien.
Another.
No, but he's basically coming out to his dad, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, I want to fuck lobsters. I understand, son.
But he said, but like his dad also, but no one also said like, listen, if you're into lobsters, there's a girl, one of my neighbors on Talescria is I think it would be a good match for you, like his daughter. So like maybe we can match you two up. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to get some alien poontang. Let's go.
Right.
Station Punani.
Our boy Ollie's about to get laid.
Woo.
Woo.
But yeah, this was a good issue. I really liked it, and like the whole twist that like obviously they're like that the fat one is feeding information to Thrag is kind of funny and just like damn, you know. And also Alan and Tech Jack, I kind of like I like how they're just like they're getting things done. They don't have the relationship of like Nolan and Alan like boys being boys, but like you know they're just boys getting stuff done.
I mean, listen,
that was kind of disappointing. I wanted Alan and Tech Jacket to be fucking buddies.
I mean, they basically are though. Like as we'll see, like
each other.
Yeah, and like and especially in like 74, which we'll talk about, like they have a good relationship with each other, like a friendship.
But I don't think they were as entertaining as Alan was when he was hanging out with Nolan.
Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I agree with that. I think Tech Jacket's inner dynamic with Mark is more interesting than Nolan, or I mean than Alan.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like Alan, and Tech Jacket is me, so I don't really give a shit about Mark.
Sure.
I want those two to be friends.
All right. While we go on to Garden the Globe, I need to hit the bathroom real quick. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, go take your last, bro.
I'll be the substitute.
So, any last thoughts while Matt's in the bathroom?
Good stuff. No. Great issue. Great issue. That's all I gotta say. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. I love it a lot. But now we have to step away from space for a bit and go back to Earth.
That's right, Earthbound. Back on our home planet, people.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right.
God damn it! Why?
That's right. We're back to guarding the globe, everybody.
That's a good point, Mikey. Why? Why are we back here? Since you're the one who told us to read.
Because it kind of ties into like what's happening on Earth. Well,
it doesn't.
It does, but it doesn't.
It's background actually for what happens after the Viltrumite War.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we come back. It's called Guarding the Globe. It's written by Kirkman and Benito Sereno, and then penciled actually by Ransom Getty.
I love Ransom Getty. Like I follow him on Instagram. He's a great artist.
He has some real nice art. But anyway, if you look at the cover, it's just a bunch of superheroes. You get the Martian guy, Shapeshift, Monster Girl, Robot, this Yeti, Brit, Bulletproof, Black Samson.
African American.
Who are the two people on the flanks? Do you know, Mikey?
Wait, who are the two people? What?
The blonde girl and the black guy all the way to the right, next to Black Samson.
I forgot her name, and I think this is a character we'll see when we do the rest of Guardian Globe. His name is Kaboomerang.
Kaboomerang. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know who she is, but she's a speedster.
Come on, what did you just say?
Yeah, she looks fast.
Don't you mean African American?
Yeah.
Samson?
You're gonna break your own rule.
It's a problem. Black Samson has my respect.
How? Again?
So he falls in the same category as Black Panther.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, come back, and this is a very familiar scene. We actually get to see the scene we just saw.
It's literally the same scene that we saw, like actually just copied
almost frame for frame in 71, right?
Yeah, basically.
And they're fighting these Flaxons, and obviously we go through this whole thing. They have their conversations. They realize they're getting old. Robot does his calculations. He says this is our last chance, and both him and Monster Girl jump through the portal. But this time, instead of flashing to Mark saying, "Yeah, they barely needed me," we flash all the way to Cecil at the Pentagon.
You're like, what the fuck? Why did he do that? Why did he do that?
And he's like, and of course, our robot man, who's secretly a robot, our boy, who's secretly a robot, was like, well, Britt said not to go, but they just went. They ignored him. And Cecil's like, well, our ranks are depleted. Tech Jacket and Invincible are in space. We don't know for how long. We lost Rexplode and Darkwing. Immortal and Kate are retired. We can't take another hit. And Monster Girl and Robot were core members, so this is a rough situation for him. But our boy's out here filling out for candidates, and Cecil's like, you know what? No, we've been doing this all wrong from the beginning. And he's like, ever since the original Guardians of the Globes like got destroyed by Omni-Man, they've just kind of been guarding America and replacing their own tails when they replace members. And now he wants to start guarding the actual globe, like actually like all over. So he wants like an army of superheroes to help guard our planet.
Which is actually a pretty good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier.
It's a very good idea. I'm gonna guess he didn't think of it before because he was hired by the United States.
Basically,
cared about.
Yeah, he's a government employee technically.
Yeah. But anyway, we flash to Britt, and Britt actually got some. I guess Britt realized that since he couldn't punch the Flaxens, that he needed some better hands for punching. So he got.
Yeah, because he doesn't have super strength; he just has unbreakable skin. So like, he can't really like. So he can just. So he just all he can do is just like throw things and just like knock a building on an enemy, but like he can't like punch them directly because they'll just like not do anything.
So he has jet hands now, and they make him super strong. And our boy comes and talks to Britt, and he's like, "Hey, we're doing a lot of stuff." He's saying, "I hope you like the gloves." And he's like, "Oh, I'm getting used to them." And he's telling them about how they got to get a new team of Guardian the Globes together. Since
also, this takes place after a week, by the way. It's a week flash forward.
Yeah, this is after a week. And he's talking to Britt about how they need help expanding the team. And Britt's like, "Can I back out of this?" And of course, he gets the answer of no. Don't even think about it. And then he actually can fly apparently too. He has jet boots.
Yeah, he has like rocket fists and rocket boots.
Yeah, it looks like he's really struggling though. By the way, the panel shows.
He can't land for shit. He gets funny.
Yeah, it's so hilarious how he's flying. And he's saying he doesn't need help, but it's so clear that he needs help. Look at him. Look at him. He says he doesn't need help, but look at him.
He just literally eats shit. He literally eats shit into his fence. It's so funny.
Right? And of course, he walks in and his wife is like, "What are you wearing?" And he's like, "This is my new costume." And he's like, "It makes me a more effective fighter, and I'm going to be leading the expansion of the new Guardians of the Galaxy, so they wanted me to look the part." And he's told that it's bad enough having Donald fly home every day, and now they have to see, or bad enough to have Donald flying him every day, but now he has to be seen in this stupid outfit. She doesn't like the costume. You can tell she doesn't like the costume.
Because she's basically just like, won't you think it's a problem if like if you keep flying back to your house in costume? Like, don't you have villains?
And he, for some reason, he says the place is a fortress, and that if the Pentagon, and I think the most telling part about it is that he says if the Pentagon was ever attacked, he'd come here, because that's how well he has this place just kind of, set up.
It's, I mean, because we saw from like the Brit like one shots that like he always has like a big ass bunker underneath his houses. It's like funny as shit. Look at little Brittany.
And of course Brittany takes this a little wrong. He's a little upset because he actually kind of likes the costume.
Wait, so what are your thoughts on his costume? I think it's cool.
I think it's simple. It's nice.
It's a simple costume.
There's not a lot they can go wrong with the costume that they put him in.
Yeah. Matt, your thoughts?
I don't like Britt, but I like his costume.
I specifically wanted to ask you because I know you don't like Britt.
I think the rocket boots and the rocket gloves are a little silly, but I think that's part of the appeal. I like them a lot. I just think Britt, I don't like Britt, so that's it.
Maybe he'll get better as you read more of Guarding the Globe.
I can guarantee you I will not be
and
able to
of course,
Globe
and after we see Britt, who has a baby now, by the way, I'm not sure. I didn't.
Yeah, little Brittany Jr.
Yeah, baby Britt. But after we see Brit, we see the mention of Black Samson. Bulletproof, Shape Smith, and some random girl are coming. It looks like it looks like Bulletproof just brought her as like, a guest.
Not his girlfriend, right?
And
It's
he's
just
like, yo, Samson's lonely in the mansion. He's by a house by himself. You're the first lady I brought for me. And you're the first, and he brought her for her. He's a one woman man. So like he's trying to assure her that he's just for her, which seems very much like Bulletproof's type, that he would tell her that, and then not follow through with it. I just don't like the vibe of Bulletproof. I won't lie. But I do like the vibe of Black Samson. He comes out kind of leaning on the door handle, holding these beers, and like, come on in, guys. And he tells Shapesmith, did you ever pick a name? And he tells him that Shapesmith didn't. He tells Shapesmith his name is Robbie tonight. And then he asks, who's the woman? And Shapesmith says, that's one of the models. She's nice. Laffy Taffy at the gas station. He did have to ask for it though. So I love
Shapesmith is great.
He's so adorably naive of her.
The only redeeming quality of this comic.
Yeah. I think he had to ask for a Laffy Taffy though, so that's minus a few points for her. So we should keep that in mind.
Thanks.
But anyway, Samson, of course, beautiful house, and they're having their conversation. Just kind of shooting shit, small talk. And Black Samson's like, hey, I think we should watch a sport. And Shapesmith's like, well, hey, after we watch a sport, can we play Rock Band? Everyone says no. They don't want to play Rock Band with him. In fact, I'm willing to bet Black Samson doesn't even have Rock Band. I think he has to go out and buy it.
He does. He specifically just does not want to play with him.
Yeah, because like he literally is just like, Rex always lets me play Rock Band.
Yeah. He plays the guitars and the drums at the same time, which is very impressive.
I love Shapesmith. He's my favorite Guardian, I think.
Guardian. Yeah, same here. It's either him or Robot, but Robot's not here right now, so
yeah, Rex is gone.
It's Shapesmith. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rex is dead. It was Rex, but Rex is dead.
No, but like Robot's name is now Rex.
Oh right, he did take Rex as a homage,
he took
right?
His name. Yeah.
Homage or whatever it is pronounced.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shapesmith doesn't like beer. It's yucky. And then we come to a big military or a big prison, a penitentiary. And we see a familiar face. You guys remember that mafia one? It's a stronghold penitentiary. Yeah. Yeah. Who was he?
He's Machine Head. He was
who's
like
the rock guy that he fought?
Titan.
Oh yeah.
Titan. Mm-hmm. It was Titan. Yeah.
Titan's cool. I like Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the guy that as it was revealed when we did Invincible Returns, like when he focuses, he can like manifest a big ass dragon, and it's like what?
Yeah. And because of that, they're actually keeping him unconscious. However, somebody is freeing him, and it's this woman in very skimpy clothing saying the order has summoned him. Her name is Embrace, by the way. I guess because she embraces the bodies of others, but who knows? After that, we cut to Immortal and Duplicate. Duplicate looking pretty pregnant right now.
Word.
So, that's a good thing for them. But Cecil's there, and he's kind of talking to them. And he's kind of hinting that it would be nice if they came back, but they're just not having it. They're trying to build a life on their own. They kids, grandkids. Listen, but he does say that if something's too big, they're willing to help, and also if they need the money, they're willing to help. So like they're saying, don't count us out if you ever need us, but like we're not joining the team. But yeah, so they're basically trying to give being a normal family a shot, which is good for them, honestly. And then we cut away to Britt, and Britt's going to recruit some new people for this team. He's in the Arctic. He jumps out and he lands and he sees this Yeti man fighting a bunch of ice people, and he thinks that the Yeti man's struggling with the ice people. So the Yeti man's just kind of fucking with them, and he's like, "Who needs help?" He just kind of trashes all of them, and he's like, "I just use them for training." And it's good that and he says, "Oh, he's Brit, and it's good to meet you." But he just uses these things for training. He wasn't in any real danger. So he uses, and then so they have a conversation, and he's like, "You're joining the team," and he's like, "Yep, that's the plan." And he's like, "Well, follow me. We got a plane to catch." And then they leave, and then we get back to Titan, and he's like, "Why have you brought me to this place?" And he's like, "Why have I never heard of you?" And Embrace is like, "You spent a lot of time in prison or cleaning up your own messes in America, so it's no surprise you don't know anything about me." And she's just kind of being an ass to him. And he's like, "Hey, don't disrespect me. He's a founding member of the Order, and he demands respect." And we get a voice from behind him telling him to bow his head. And he suddenly gets terrified, saying he had no idea you were taking personal interest in it. And he's told to be quiet before his tongue comes out. And then we get a cut to a man with no face. However, this man with no face is telling him to look into his eyes. And
he sure is.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's real terrifying, I think. And he's like, if I didn't have use for me, you'd already be dead. But luckily, we still have use for you. People are moving against us. We've worked through decades to establish, but we will remain intact. We've been in the shadows for a long time, but he wants to feel the blood rain down on his face as the world around him burns. And he's like, "And you're going to help me do that." And he just kind of stands over this man, and he's on the ground. And then we get like this little short comic at the end called Guardian Gags. And that's the way. But we get this little short comic at the end.
Yeah, with Barack Obama.
Yeah, Barack Obama. And is that
the Guardians of the Globe?
Who's the Alaskan girl? The Alaskan Republican.
What?
Gosh.
Yeah,
the woman who almost ran for president in the Republican Party.
Sarah Palin.
I think that's who the person in the red.
Yeah, Sarah Palin.
Yes, that's who that looks like to me.
Oh, okay,
right.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Hey, we found the long form of your birth certificate." And Obama's like, "This is Hitler's birth certificate." And of course, it's like, exactly, you can't be president. You weren't born in the United States. Hitler was born in Germany. He's calling him Hitler is the joke. And they're basically impeaching Barack Obama. And it's just this awful joke. And he's like, "Good grief." Obama's like, "Good grief." And he's like, "You fine. If nobody wants me as president, you can get somebody else to do it." And he says, and he's going to apparently be guarding the globe. But you see, the Guardians don't want him because why would they want to save the world with Hitler? And
oh Lord, I didn't even read that.
I don't know.
I was like, why are we talking about? I didn't even read this.
It's such a weird, little comment.
It really was like out of nowhere too.
But it was so weird that I felt I could not bring it up just because it was so weird.
Oh, of course.
Also, who are the Guardians of the Globe in this little comic? I want to touch on this real quick. Are Invincible, Spawn, Harry Potter, and don't know.
No, it's not Harry Potter.
Yeah, I forgot about
It's not Harry Potter because it was a star in his head, not a lightning bolt.
Right. But it's very clearly Harry Potter.
Yes. Wait a minute. The gray guy apparently shapeshifts.
Wait.
Oh, he's the guy from The Walking Dead. He's The Walking
He's
Dead.
Rick? He's freaking Rick Grimes?
Oh, that makes sense.
That's
I
hilarious.
guess.
Because what is it? Oh, fun fact. The next Guarding the Globe issue, Barack Obama is back, apparently.
Woo!
So we actually get more Barack Obama in the comics for some reason.
I hope so.
Oh
He
my
better
god.
be a recurring.
I hope so
character.
too.
He better be in the Viltrumite War, or else I'm giving up Invincible.
He's the linchpin. He's the defining factor of the Viltrumite War.
Of
He's
course.
the secret weapon.
Actually, what's keeping us safe
God.
from the Viltrumites? Without the power of Barack Obama, we'd all be dead right now.
Mikey,
Without the God-given powers of Barack Obama.
What?
What?
Michael,
Next
there are
comic?
6 issues of Guarding the Globe. How many of them are we going to read?
The rest.
Oh.
Do you know? Are you serious?
Listen. I think I have some stuff to do
All
the next
right.
time we have news.
Well,
Me too.
well,
okay,
Whatever
I'll-
that's happening, I'm busy.
let's just wrap the last
Yeah,
issue.
I'm busy that day.
But yeah. So, any thoughts on Guardian Globe at all before we move on?
It sucked.
It didn't.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's really
Not bad.
What
Not
is-
that bad.
The first half of it was just a comic we've already read.
Word. That is true.
Like the first third of it is a comic we've already read.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I don't think it's that bad. I mean,
Mhm.
Astounding Wolfman is definitely worse.
Ah.
it's definitely not the worst-
Yeah.
it's definitely,
I'll agree
it's definitely
with
not the
that.
worst we've read, but I'm certainly looking forward to getting back to Invincible. Even in just this episode, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. I
Um,
can tell you definitively that so far I like 0 of the issues that focus on Brit. So
yeah. I mean, the only thing that I actually like, because I looked through like the other issues, is that it's like the villain of the book is the Order. The Order has been mentioned in Invincible multiple, like on occasion when Titan's around, but like we never see them in the series at all. So like you see them and they show up in this, and like that's one thing that gets me curious about reading it, and like that's it.
well,
But-
yeah, I mean, admittedly, I'm a little curious about No Face. I'm a little curious about No Face's sexy friend. I kind of don't care about the heroes in this book, which is, I feel like, a pretty big detriment. But Shapesmith's in it. I like Shapesmith, so who knows? Maybe I'll like the next issue. Probably not, but maybe.
You don't like Yeti?
Yeah.
What's wrong
Yeah.
with Yeti?
I have to agree with
Yeti is 80% head, 20% body. Have you
I don't
seen
like the way
his
he
mouth?
looks.
It is in his torso. Look at that.
I don't dislike Yeti just because I like Yetis in general.
Fair
I think his whole thing. Here's my problem with Yeti. He's a big Brit fan, and I can't stand Brit, so I can't like Yeti.
That's valid.
All right.
I
All
can't
right.
respect him.
That's
He
valid.
has bad opinions.
But yeah, I mean, this issue was just average. And like that's something I'm looking forward to is just learning more about the Order because they've been mentioned in Invincible like a lot. So like that was basically it for me. I like Brit's costume, though. It's a cool costume.
Yes.
All right,
Next comic, please.
all right, let's go. Issue 74, Invincible.
Yeah, bring it home, Michael.
Yeah, love this cover. So obviously like shit's about to go down. But this issue starts with a conversation from Thetis to the other I think the council of the coalition of planets, I believe. But like you can see all these races. There's a Unipon. It's Alan's race is in there. He's skinny
There's
as
only
fuck.
2 left, right? Him and Alan.
No, there's a good chunk of people left. A good chunk.
Okay.
But the problem the population is slim. That's why he doesn't want to like he doesn't want to let Alan fuck because the population is slim. But he does fuck. But anyway, he's just saying that like, yeah, guys, here's the thing.
Fox.
Yeah, Alan fucks. People like, yeah, guys, here's the thing, right? So Nolan and his two sons were like our linchpin with this fight because they're OP as hell. And like Alan and Tech Jacket have been doing a good job conquering like the other outposts that the Vulture might have, which is a good thing. But they're at more of an advantage because if they take the fight to us, we're screwed. And like, but will they take the fight to us? Not really, because they're fucking pussies, and it's not going to happen. But then next thing you know, it does happen, and we see Anissa plow through the headquarters of the coalition of planets, and this is the first time we see Anissa in like the past like couple episodes. Like
it's been a while.
It's been a while since she came back because last
I like
time
her.
I hate her. The last time we saw her,
hating strong women.
No, I think strong women are great, but I just hate this one.
Ah, okay, because she was stronger than
she's
the
just
men.
an awful person.
She's just an awful person, but like we haven't gotten there yet. So that's the thing. You know, me and Demoan hate her with a passion. Y'all don't have to hate her now, but
right.
but yeah,
I think that she's a
cool
villain.
We'll have the same.
Oh, sorry,
Christian,
Matt,
you will be very disappointed in her.
Me specifically?
Yes. If you like Anissa, I'm sorry, but you're a terrible person if you like her.
Yeah, you.
Interesting.
Does she specifically hate Latinos or something? Why?
No, we won't say. But like, if you like her now, that's fine. You won't like her later.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand you. Like, I can justify it.
Yeah.
Did she kill Tech Jacket?
What?
Never mind. I don't want to know.
If she kills Tech Jacket, then I'll like her even more. So I don't think.
Why would you want her to kill Christian? He's your friend.
Ouch. All we had was special.
But yeah, last time we saw her, she was checking on Mark to make sure that he's doing his job, and he obviously wasn't doing his job. But it transitions back to Omni-Man, Mark, and Nolan on this planet. And just like they're just shooting the shit and just talking about just like shit. I honestly don't remember this conversation.
This is the lobster conversation.
This is the lobster talk. It's in this issue.
Yeah,
they're talking about how
lobster talk. That's what I'm confused about. Last issue, because you guys said last issue was, or the two issues before.
I was looking through the entire issue. I could not find a conversation. That makes sense.
That makes
sense. But like he even said that like when he was on his planet, on his mom's homeworld, which is Thraxia. I always get Talescria and Thraxia confused. But like when he was on Thraxia as a baby, like he was smart enough and like old enough to like realize that like, oh yeah, like all these people are attractive. And just like when he's on Earth, he does find some Earth people some humans attractive, but like not all of them. But like here's the thing though, I'm not attracted to like I'm attracted to like all like not just humans, but like I went to Lobster with mom and like I'm gonna say it's a Red Lobster just for the fun of it.
It's definitely a Red Lobster, yeah.
And she was like, I was just some lobster swimming in a tank, and we ordered some. And like, I even thought it was like beautiful and attractive. So like, what's wrong with you, Dad?
Red Lobster has the sexiest lobsters. That is a fact.
Yeah. He's like, I still ate it, but I still thought it was beautiful and it was delicious. But he's like, listen, son, like, I can introduce you to some girls back on Talescria. Like, I have a neighbor that has a daughter that I can introduce you to. And he's just like, really, Dad? And he's just like, yeah, son, go get you some. And so it's a good conversation.
Right. Our boy Oliver's going to get.
Yeah, and then but all Omni-Man seems distracted, and then it's to our reveal, Mark is awake and he is all healed up. And he just like he's saying like, yo, like where's Conquest? Where's Conquest? And he's like, did you kill him, Dad? And he's like, no, you actually killed him. And he's like, you kicked his ass, Mark. And it's like, it's just a good banner. And then we transition to this planet where Alan and Christian are hanging out. And then we get to see that like Christian fucks as well.
No, Christian fucked. Alan fucks. Christian fucks.
I got a singular fuck. Alan got plural fucks.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And just like it's just basically just like Alan just catches guy having sex with this alien girl. And he's just like, what's happening here? And then he's like, it's not what it looks like, I swear. And he's like, okay, maybe it is exactly what it looks like. And he's like, but like, don't you have a girlfriend? And he's like, that Galdarian girl. And he's like, yeah, like we decided to like take a break once I started once the war began because we don't have similar compatible parts. But apparently this alien does. So, but basically Alan's like, okay, there's an attack on Talescria. The Coalition planet needs us. We have to go. And so that happens. It transitions back to our boys, and basically it's just like, here's the thing though. Like he's like, I'm glad that I didn't really want. I mean, like I'm glad that he's finally dead, but like how? Like I didn't kill him the last time that I fought him. And it's like it's just how that possible. And his dad's like, listen, Mark, like you underestimate how strong you really are. And just like look at you. You listen. I mean, you got a fist through your fucking chest, but like you at least killed him. Yay! You're getting stronger.
Damn.
And it's just like, I mean, obviously, but Mark also is kind of like a little like sad because like he killed the man, but like it was for survival, so it's kind of just
days after he said, "I'm not going to kill anyone anymore."
Yeah, but anyway, he's like, here's the thing, I know you're upset about killing him, but like, here's the thing, like, it's not a superhero battle. This is war. There will be casualties. There will be blood spilt. That's how war works. But it's time for us to rejoin the fight because, they need us.
Yeah, and I think this conversation is very important because I think in some ways Nolan is addressing us as the readers. Like, hey, I know Mark says he's not going to kill people anymore, and that's still a thing. Mark still doesn't want to kill people. But there's a war, and the people are going to die, and that's necessary. And I think that's it kind of put me at ease because at first I was a little uncomfortable with Mark having killed Conquest just after deciding not to kill anymore. So I think Nolan making this point is very important. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, because like war, like fighting a villain is one thing, but fighting a war is another. It's a different story. So
exactly.
I think a lot also was that Mark was really defending himself when he had to kill Conquest.
Oh, 100%.
So I think
and Oliver.
And Oliver,
all of them defending themselves.
Also, I just I forgot to mention this when we covered 72, but like the fact that like when Mike finds out that like it was probably Cecil that kept Conquest alive in that conversation he's gonna have when he comes back to Earth.
I look forward to this because Cecil's on thin fucking ice.
I know. Cecil just got his trust back a little bit, almost, and immediately fucked it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be even worse when Mark finds out that like he made Reanimate out of dead, like out of versions of dead versions of him, which is gonna be But like I just want that like that scene from The Hangover, like the first Hangover, where like it's just Phil just like, listen, we fucked up. That's what I want Cecil. That's what I want to happen to Cecil in this.
I'm gonna be honest. The last thing I expected you to reference today was The Hangover. That
wasn't even on my list of movies that I thought would be referenced.
You don't even know Mikey. Any opportunity to reference The Hangover, he takes it.
I take it because I thought about it when I read it, and I was like, that scene from the beginning of The Hangover basically describes Cecil's situation, and it's fantastic. But anyway, transitions to Thrag admiring his skull. And basically it's just like, here's the thing, right? We're tagging poles for planets. Shit's about to go down. It's gonna be great. Like, we will not fail you. Like, blah blah blah. Because Thetis was the one that killed you, and he's a fucking traitor. So shit's about to go down. And basically, the skull was the higher king of the Viltrumites. And Thetis killed him when he either in a fight or when he used the Scourge virus. I'm assuming.
Okay, so Thetis killed the previous leader of the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
And that's who this skull is.
Yeah.
And what's this dude's name?
He's General Thrag. Yeah, he's essentially like this guy's successor.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so he talks to the skull like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like a zealot.
It looks like somebody punched their thumb or something through this guy's eye.
That's what I was That's what I'm assuming that's like based on my like got into a fight with him and like that was the aftermath.
Like
Yeah.
he just caught the eye and then just kind of pulled.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably because like I don't think space COVID does that to your skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I forgot we're still calling it that for a second. Sorry.
We probably shouldn't. It's probably a little
It's insensitive.
Insensitive. Yeah.
But yeah, so Scourge virus, yeah, but Thetis, Thrag is just acknowledging his accomplishments and that his successor would be proud of him. It's very creepy and weird. But we transition to Thetis looking Aki as hell.
Yeah.
Looking you like when you forget this man's a Viltrumite, like when you forget this man's a Viltrumite.
Life Alert calls him. This man's a beast.
Oh my god.
True. Honestly, Christian, you get the cake for that. That was best reference of the series.
Thank you.
Best reference of the special of the podcast so far.
I'm my best.
But yeah, he basically just like, okay, what the hell happened? Who's the traitor? And he looks at him, he's like, you. Goes to the skinny one, is like, you did this. You called him here. Why? Why did you do this? And it's just like, it wasn't me. It was the fat one. And he was like, you.
Honestly, yeah, that's exactly how it went. That's exactly how it went down. It wasn't me, it's a fat.
Oh my god! But then he charges at the fat one, and the fat one's like, "Please, somebody help me!" And then he literally gets then freaking out of nowhere, Krieg was like, "Not in my house," and freaking Krieg comes out of nowhere and slams him in the back. But then Three is like, "Bitch, you would have thought," and just like punches Three in the fucking face and has a cool and starts having a fight with him. And then we get and then Krieg gets blasted in the face by a laser. Huh? Why is there a laser? Because our boys, Tech Jacket and Alan, show up and are ready to fight. And I just love how Tech's like, dude, you see that, bro? You see that? You should be fucking wow, bro. Did you see that, bro? He's like, yes, I see it. I saw it. Thanks for acknowledging it multiple times. But yeah. So then they start joining. They start joining the fight. Alan starts fighting Krieg. Tech Jacket gets Thetis to safety, and then freaking Anissa comes out of nowhere and starts power hugging freaking Tech Jacket and crushing him.
Yeah,
and
she's trying to like crush his skull with her tits. I think that's what's going on here.
and she's basically just like, yo, I can't wait to like squeeze your body out of this armor. And he's just like, you have big tits.
True.
And Thetis going out of nowhere, knocks her out, and then like she's just going wild. Things are exploding, like just fight, and then all you just see is freaking Tech Jacket like, wait a minute, look, and this is like, wait, don't get distracted while I'm about to kill you, and we get to see our boys. They return in this amazing page.
Oliver looks so excited for this fight
because obviously he says, "Hell yeah!" He obviously said "Hell yeah" when he came out.
If there
wasn't over there, it would most certainly say "Hell yeah," wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I think
I love this.
Really bad.
What?
I think he looks really bad. I don't like it.
I'm sorry. I refuse to accept someone saying that something involving Ollie's work is bad.
Like,
so
no, I the way Invincible and Omni-Man are drawn. I'm a little iffy on the way Oliver's drawn.
Oliver looks like, for me in this page, he looks a lot older than I think he's supposed to be. But like, I don't know if that's intentional or not.
Yeah, I thought it was intentional.
But I actually kind of dig Omni-Man with the beard though.
Oh yeah,
he looks awesome.
I think Omni-Man looks the best on this page. I don't know. I don't think Mark looks like himself. Even I feel like even if you the beard away,
dude,
he did just come back from death.
He looks
dude, he got a hole in his chest, bro. What do you want?
I'm not talking about his chest. I'm talking about his face. I don't think it looks like Mark.
So you want him to just like do a Hancock and just like use his hand to shave himself? Like
he doesn't have to. He uses the Viltrumite pull.
Oh yeah, the Viltrumite pull.
We still don't know what that is though.
It's where you pull your beard off.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The Viltrumite pull.
But anyway, They show up, are in the fray. Omni-Man punches Anissa in the face, and it's awesome. And they're just shooting. They're just recouping with Thetis and being like, "Hey, we're hell now." It's like, Oliver, don't do reckless shit again, please. Just stick with me. You'll at least live. And then they start to fly up. And then I love this that page where it's just like, just make sure like to keep your arms straight up like this, your fists up, and just try not to look, but just pull, just fly through. And it's like, wait, I already know how to fly. Why are you showing them this? He's like, oh wait, I see, because they fly through a fucking ship. They fly through they fly through the main ship, and it's awesome.
Before Wanda, but before Wanda.
Shit.
Or no, they call Captain Marvel.
Michael Bay.
Before Captain Marvel. That's what it was.
Yeah, he pulled a Captain Marvel. And it's just more fights happening.
But first,
and then freaking Thetis' skull is about to fall off because of the collision with the ship. And he's like, no, my skull that I obviously masturbate to. And then he grabs it and then flies away. And then and then it seems, I don't know if, and then they decide to because they broke the ship in half. The ship is going to fall into the city, and they decide to Thetis, Oliver, Mark, and Tech Jacket they push together and push the ship out of the atmosphere into space, and it's really cool. And then, but Thrag also gets away because he's like, I'm gonna kill them, I'm gonna destroy them, blah 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 blah. And it's like, actually, no, never mind. I'm just gonna leave for another day. And then after that, Thrag leaves, more fights, and then Craig leaves. And it's like, wait a minute, why did Craig leave? And it's like, oh, I guess they're retreating, which is actually not a good thing because they're probably gonna attack us later on. But it's whatever. And then so the fight's done, and it transitions to the skinny attendant, Nolan and Alan, and everyone else joins in later. But basically, the skinny guy's like, dude, we shared a brain for since the first ever since our 6 months of living. Why would you do this? Why would you betray us? And then he's like, how could you do this to me? He shoots him in the fucking head. It's just like, dude. And then he's like, dude, I swear to God, I will shoot you again if you don't talk. Why are you working for the Viltrumites? And it's like, what are they planning? And basically, they're just enough, just tell us what they're planning. And it's just listen, here's the thing, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It's too late because they're going to Viltrum, and that's going to be their last stand. And that's basically he reveals the plan that they're going to be on Viltrum, and that's essentially where that's where the next fight will be taking place. And that's how the issue ends. Issue 74.
He really just tells them the plans to his enemies, though.
He doesn't want to get shot, so understandable.
He got shot, but he really tells him, hey, your enemies that I was helping all this time for years, they're gonna stage a counterattack where they all gather on Viltrumite.
He said they're all going there. All the Viltrumites, in the universe, are going back home.
All 49.
Yeah, it's a dangerously low amount. Remember?
Yeah. So, if this didn't work, if this attack didn't work, then their backup plan as a counterattack was for all the Viltrumites to just regroup on Viltrum for a last stand, I guess. But yeah, that's what 74 ends. So thoughts on 74?
It's a big and crazy.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
I like it.
It's nuts. I mean, it's gonna get even more nuts when we do part 2. But this was pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start.
Yeah, word. It's a start of ridiculous shit. But I like this issue. This is also a great issue. A lot of dope action. We get more stuff on Mark, not being dead, and Alan and Tech Jacket holding their own as the last habit. And they come in epically. Our boys come in and change and really change the course of the fight. I think it's fantastic. And then it's just dope.
So great to see the literal immediate effect having the 3 of them back has on the war. I think it's satisfying because it really feels oh, the coalition was winning, but now they have a chance to just kind of crush them because this was an attack and they kind of just fought it off.
Because technically they have 4 Viltrumites: Thetis, Omni-Man, Invincible, and Oliver. So that's a pretty good advantage.
I honestly, going into this thing, kind of expected the coalition to lose, and they still could. We still have half the arc left, but I'm not as convinced anymore.
Mm,
It's,
fair
it's
enough.
really like as they get more and more people gathered together, and as they use the resources that people like Nolan left them on how to fight the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
I think without that, like they would just kind of be kind of fucked right now.
Yeah. I really hope there's space sharks in the next one.
Oh, I hope. I don't remember.
I can't tell you because I don't remember either.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so let's think who they have for a second when it comes to like their ranks, right? So they have the Graysons, right? Their status, Space Rider, Battle Beast,
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast, Alan, and like the Coalition, like planetary forces, I'm assuming, and Tech Jacket.
They have the skinny guy who does the information, not the fat guy
Yeah,
though.
yeah, he's a traitor.
Did you say Alan? There's also Alan.
I said Alan. I said Alan. But like, that seems like a pretty good. I mean, we'll see how their odds are when like they have to go to Viltrum.
Early on in the comics, when I knew like the war was happening, but I didn't know who the roster was, I thought Immortal was going to be a part of it, and I was just thinking about how useless he was going to be the entire time.
Yeah, because he just got washed by Omni-Man.
Exactly.
Mark, remember when we did the tie-in with Astounding Wolfman when they fought the Guardians? He mopped Immortal easily. Mark, like so that wouldn't have been.
Immortal would probably be the weakest person in that war who had actual powers.
Yeah,
probably.
I even like obviously like Black Samson and like Bulletproof are stronger than him, and I think he knows it.
I like Black Samson. Yeah. I think he's cool.
Yeah,
I love Black Samson.
African American Samson.
It's the respect of the mother.
But yeah, I'm excited for part 2. But like, yeah, it was a good start. But I'm just. I mean, I know I've been saying Viltrum all the way until we started the show, but like now we're actually gonna go to Viltrum.
Yeah, we are with its ring of corpses.
It's really
not.
It's like
Saturn. Yeah, basically, it's dead. It's corpse Saturn. But yeah, so final thoughts on the Viltrumite War Part 1 arc.
So far, I think it's more than the Invincible War.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a step up from the Invincible War. I enjoyed the Invincible War, but I definitely like this more.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've always said the Invincible War is my favorite, but I understand that this is actually better. So, but it's just, yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's just
the Invincible War has Angstrom in it, and Angstrom I think is still my favorite villain. So in that sense, Invincible War was fantastic, but this just feels more. I don't know.
Insane.
Yeah, it's insane and also more intimate. It's both, and I like that.
It's insane, and also like it's more intimate in a way, but it's also like I think this is like it's a wider scope than what Angstrom did with the Invincible War. But even the Invincible War was a pretty big scope, and this is just extended to like space now. So
yeah.
I'm actually trying to think. Like, Demoan, do you remember if Angstrom actually comes back? Believe it or not.
Yes, I don't know. Actually, I think I remember if he comes back, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, neither am I. I don't know why, but
because my instinct is yes, but I also can't remember where he would be.
Right.
Well, he's with those doctor guys that like saved that repaired him. That's all we know.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, and Space Rider. I forgot about Space Rider. Shit.
You know how our boy loves to call stuff back, though. So
yeah,
probably that also might be why I think that he's coming back. Even though I remembered it.
My question for like Christian and Matt, because they haven't read. So like, could you believe we would get to like this big of a scope ever since we started Invincible when it was just simple high school? Like,
yes. Back then? No, definitely.
No, back then, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I guess not. From the first issue, probably not. By the time Nolan killed the globe and flew away into space, at that point I kind of figured something like this would come along eventually.
Right.
From like first 5-6 issues, nah.
Yeah, same here.
You don't have one of your main antagonists go to space and then just do nothing with space.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I was just curious because like it's
Never expected to fall in love with an orange cyclops like
No.
I did in this
I've
kind
never
of
said
series. Yes.
yeah, but I was just asking because like when like I really was thinking like when I was reading, I was like reflecting on like just from the first issue, it's just like we've come a long way in just 74 issues. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Invincible War Part 1, people. We were also I forgot to mention.
Doesn't
I
this
forgot-
episode mark the halfway point of like
Once
the
we did
action?
issue 72, we were halfway done in the main story of Invincible.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
what I thought.
good for us. We made it this far, kids.
Woo! Round of applause.
Yeah. So this is our halfway point, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Continue.
It's fine, Christian. We needed it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
But yeah, so next episode we are going to be I'm gonna be so pissed, but I'm sorry, but it is what it is. We're going to be discussing the going back to side stuff, going to read more Guarding the Globe issues 2 to 6. So just the rest of it. And then after that
Gosh.
we'll be going back to part 2. So
That's so weird how I have something to do that day. No,
who
I'm
knows?
kidding.
Maybe I might.
Don't worry.
Who knows?
I'm actually.
Maybe I might be nice and have us do part 2 next week and just have that one after. But am I that nice? Who knows? But
I just want to get
yeah,
out of here as soon as possible.
but yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. If people tuned in, probably not, but we'll see from the view count. But yeah, so look out for the episode next week. And Christian, you want to do our outro or not?
No, I don't.
Can you please?
Christian, what are we gonna do if our show doesn't have 3 outros?
Outros, bro. We can't have just 2.
2 outros isn't enough.
I don't like I honestly thought you guys would be cool if I didn't do an outro. Okay.
I mean, listen, if you want to do the show, go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay.
I believe in you, though.
Come on, Christian.
You got it.
Now I have pressure. Oh, COVID is bad, but you know what else is bad? Being an asshole. How do you be an asshole? By not staying healthy and preventing other people from catching the virus. You may feel fine, but who knows? You might have the virus and kill your grandmama. So what do you gotta do? You gotta take precautions. Precaution number 1, put on a mask. Precaution number 2, eat your vitamins. Precaution number 3, make sure you're hydrated and healthy at all times. And if you're feeling bad, don't go close to people and get them sick. Because that's what assholes do. And think about what Alan would do. Because you know what? He's not an asshole.
Well, you know what he does do? He fucks.
Well,
Thank you, Mikey.
that's
and
right.
I think that's a perfect transition to yours.
All right, and also to quote Blur Without Fear, wash your damn hands. And we'll catch y'all next time, people. Bye. Get home safe.
I'm saying-